Ever feel like someone's watching you? That unsettling feeling isn't just paranoia, it's a reflection of our times. George Orwell's book 1984 nails that feeling perfectly, capturing the essence of a surveillance state. Published in 1949, it paints a scary picture of a future where the government controls everything, from your actions to your thoughts. They call it Big Brother, and yeah, he's always watching. The idea of constant surveillance is chilling. Think cameras everywhere, your thoughts policed, even your history rewritten. Sound familiar? It's like living in a fishbowl where privacy is a luxury. While we're not quite living in Orwell's dystopia, the book's themes are scarily relevant today. The parallels are hard to ignore. From social media to data collection, the lines are blurring between our world and the one Orwell imagined. Our digital footprints are everywhere. 1984 isn't just a book, it's a warning. A cautionary tale that urges us to stay vigilant. It reminds us what happens when power goes unchecked and why we gotta fight for freedom. It's a call to action. This isn't about being paranoid, it's about being aware. Awareness is the first step to change. By looking at how Orwell's themes play out today, we can better understand the challenges we face and protect the freedoms we cherish. It's a roadmap for resistance. So buckle up because we're diving into the world of 1984 and seeing how it stacks up against our own. Let's explore the eerie similarities and learn from them. Remember that creepy feeling when you talk about something, then bam! An ad for it pops up on your phone? Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe it's the world of 1984 seeping in. It's not just a random occurrence, it happens too often to be mere chance. In Orwell's world, telescreens watched citizens 24/7. They were an omnipresent force, always watching, always listening. Today, our phones, smart speakers, and even our webcams can act as our own personal telescreens. They are always on, always connected, and always collecting data. Think about it. Every Google search, every online purchase, every selfie you post is tracked. Every digital footprint you leave behind is recorded and analyzed. Companies use this data to target us with ads, but it's not hard to imagine governments using it for surveillance too. The data collected can be a gold mine for those looking to monitor and control. And let's not forget facial recognition technology, which can identify us in crowds just like in the book. This technology is becoming more advanced and widespread. The line between convenience and constant monitoring is getting thinner. Our smart devices make life easier, but at what cost? We need to ask ourselves, how much privacy are we willing to sacrifice in the name of technology? Is the trade-off worth it? Because if we're not careful, we might wake up one day living in a world where Big Brother knows our every move. A world where our every action is monitored and recorded. In 1984, the Ministry of Truth was actually in the business of lies. They controlled the narrative, twisting facts to fit their agenda. Sound familiar? Welcome to the age of fake news, where misinformation spreads like wildfire online. Social media, while connecting us, also creates echo chambers where we're only exposed to information that confirms our existing beliefs. It's easy to dismiss news we don't like as fake, but the problem runs deeper. Sophisticated algorithms track our online behavior, feeding us content they think we want to see. This creates a distorted reality where it's hard to separate truth from fiction. Just like in 1984, controlling information equals controlling people's minds. We need to be critical thinkers, questioning what we see and hear. Fact-checking, seeking diverse sources, and engaging in respectful dialogue are crucial. Because if we don't, we risk becoming pawns in a game of misinformation, just like the citizens of Oceania. Section 4. Power to the people, fighting for freedom in a controlled world. One of the scariest things about 1984 is how the government controls every aspect of people's lives. From what they eat to what they think, every detail is monitored. Big Brother is always in control, watching every move. Now, our world isn't that extreme yet, but we're seeing worrying trends that echo Orwell's dystopia. Governments are increasingly using surveillance to monitor citizens, often in the name of security and public safety. But where do we draw the line between safety and freedom? How much control is too much? When does protecting us become controlling us? Why do those in power think we want them protecting us? Who is going to protect us from those in power? It's a question we need to keep asking, and a conversation we must continue to have. 1984 reminds us that power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. This is a timeless truth. We need to hold our leaders accountable, ensuring they serve the public good. We need to demand they follow their oath to uphold the Constitution. We need to continue demanding transparency and fighting for our civil liberties. Our rights must be protected. This isn't about being anti-government, it's about being pro-freedom, pro-liberty. It's about making sure that those in power are working for us, the people, not the other way around. We must remain vigilant. Just like Winston, the protagonist of 1984, who fought against the oppressive regime, we need to resist attempts to control our thoughts, our beliefs, our actions, and our lives. Freedom is worth fighting for. Section 5. Dare to be different. The power of thinking for yourself. In 1984, thinking for yourself is a crime. The party wants everyone to conform, to accept their version of truth without question. This is where doublethink comes in, the ability to hold two contradictory beliefs at the same time. Sound crazy? Think again. We see it all the time today, people blindly following trends, accepting information without questioning it, afraid to stand out from the crowd. Social pressure is powerful, and it can be tempting to just go along with the group. But 1984 reminds us that independent thought is essential. It's what makes us human. We need to question, to challenge, to think for ourselves. We need to be willing to stand up for what we believe in, even when it's unpopular. Because if we all start thinking the same, we stop thinking altogether. Section 6. Even in darkness, there's hope. Winston's fight for truth. The world of 1984 is bleak, there's no denying that. But even in the face of overwhelming oppression, Winston, the protagonist, clings to hope. He rebels against the party, seeking truth and love in a world that's outlawed both. Winston's spirit, his refusal to be completely broken, is a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope can exist. His fight shows us that resistance is not futile. Even small acts of defiance like keeping a diary or falling in love can chip away at the foundations of tyranny. While Winston's story ultimately ends in tragedy, his spirit serves as a beacon of hope. It reminds us that the human spirit, the desire for freedom and truth, can't be completely extinguished. Even in the face of overwhelming odds, there's always a reason to fight for a better future. Section 7. Wake-up call, 1984's message for today. 1984 isn't just a dystopian novel. It's a cautionary tale. It's a stark reminder of what can happen when we take our freedoms for granted, when we allow power to go unchecked, and when we stop thinking for ourselves. While the world today isn't a mirror image of Orwell's Oceania, the parallels are undeniable. From surveillance technologies to the spread of misinformation, the themes of 1984 are more relevant than ever. But the book isn't a prediction, it's a warning. It's a call to action, urging us to be vigilant, to question authority, and to fight for our freedoms. By understanding the dangers Orwell so brilliantly illustrated, we can work to ensure that our future doesn't become a dystopian nightmare. 1984 should serve as a constant reminder that freedom is precious and must be defended at all costs, because once lost, it's not easily regained. Stay frosty, my friends. Keep your head down and your powder dry.